I don't think there's any question. I mean, people in Maine come to work every day. Shipyards in Miami, they don't come to work every day. That's here we expect people to come work, and that just doesn't happen everywhere in the country. Things that we take for granted, and it doesn't happen.
When I first came to this job as commissioner, I had the opportunity to travel to Fort Kent, and Matt had been instrumental in pulling the call center together and putting people back to work in the former MBNA facility there. The first day of their operation last year, April, we had a major snowstorm, a foot of snow. And also at Notify MD, that first day for Notify MD, the president of the company called up wondering whether he'd have to reroute calls, wondering if all 50 people that were designated to go to work that day would show up. In fact, not only, much to his surprise, but not to ours, they showed up, all of them, ahead of time to make sure the operation would run smoothly. And so people, whether it's in Fort Kent or whether it's in Farmington, no matter Portland, wherever it is, we get the work done. We have, I think, both the education, the right people, the right work ethic, and we have what's most important around the world, wherever I go, innovation. They used to call it Yankee ingenuity. Today they call it innovation. We have very innovative people who are really willing to step up and make differences in the workplace that really mean all the difference in the world to their employer.
Okay. Let me shift the discussion to what we like to call the center of the universe, where we are, the Knox and Waldo region. That's my job, is to try to focus on that, and I got you here to talk about that. So given that, and Taylor, let's start with you. I mean, you cover the whole state. You report on it. When you think about our region right here, what are our strengths in terms of business attraction? What are our weaknesses too?
Well, I think when you look at the industries that are active and happening in a particular region, take boat building. Yeah. You guys are very active in that. You're, I think many would say the best boat builders in the world. And, to be able to build on something like that.
Marine trades is something that's okay. What do you think, Matt?
Well, I agree with Taylor. I think that you focus on what you're good at, understand what your liabilities are, work on those, but let's accentuate what we're good at. We're good at building boats. Well, how do we do that better? One of the things that I think is interesting in Maine is around tourism. We have, by any measure, it's our number one, depending on who's counting this week, but it's 55,000 people working in it, 42 million people visited the state, 10 billion in revenue, and yet we don't have any degrees, four-year degrees in hotel management or culinary arts. The steamship comes with the cruise ships. We get them on the boat, we take them up to LLB, and we fill their bag, we put them back on the boat and get them out of town. How about we fix those boats? How about we provision those boats? How about we crew those boats? There's so much more that we can do with the industries that are here that aren't going to South Carolina. And it seems to me that this particular part of the world is a unique place where creative people like to come. What are we doing for those creative folks? And I think if we focus on what we're good at and what we have that nobody else can duplicate, that's where we win.
Okay. How about a weakness?
Well, I want to say I agree, but I don't want to forget, I think marine trades, certainly tourism, visit Maine.com. If you've not been to that particular website, you'll see it, you'll be impressed. But I think one other area that I think we have a competitive advantage, if you look out behind you, you have wonderful, wonderful pictures related to your downtown structures. There's a lot of historical, I think, significance to it. The Maine Historic Preservation Tax Credit, which we're working on in the legislature, I think will absolutely provide you with the character needed to recruit and keep people that want to come to what they understand to be the New England downtown village. But IT, I can see behind me in the buildings that exist both in Rockland and Camden, Thomaston, Belfast, I can see IT facilities working like they do in mill complexes, whether it's in Providence, whether it's in Haverhill, Lowell, Lawrence, where we see an IT dominance. And I think rural America and rural Maine is really, I think, ripe for an IT initiative and ripe for the kind of character and IT facilities that could exist right in our downtown centers again.
Good. That's good to hear, because we think that's a cluster that we can work on. We think we have kind of two. We have the marine trades clearly, but we believe that kind of emerging IT and new media can really be something we
My
can
concern
focus
is around the workforce,
Yep.
having enough workers to fill what I think could be the capacity for this region, and I think broadband. I think beyond what you have at your former MBNA facilities, I think broadband is something we have to lay the backbone for up and down the Knox County region. And I think if we do that, some will come, others here will get educated, and we will see great results.
what do you all think is your one single most important thing we can be doing right here in our area to be to position ourselves better, to be better in terms of business attraction? Let's start with Taylor.
I'm going to steal something that Matt's told me a number of times.
Because he steals it from
which
me all the
is
time.
Get the word out. Tell people. Tell people that you're open for business. That's been an interesting thing to hear, that there are municipalities out there, regions out there who kind of want it, but they don't really go that extra mile to say, to tell the world.
Maybe
we're here.
TV's a way to do it.
Maybe TV.
Maybe TV. Maybe TV.
What do you think?
I think it's exactly right. I mean, who knows that you're here, and who knows that you want them to come, and how do we get that word out? And when you pool your resources, you're better able to make that message. But it's just like selling it. If you're not defining yourself, then the other states are defining you, and that's what's happening to us right now.
Okay.
I think you need to brand this region. I think branding is something, and sticking with your marketing strategy is the way to go. There's much here to brand. There's much to talk about. There's much, I think, that you can make unique for this area and for this region. And I think that that's the way you go. And I applaud you for your Many Flags One Campus initiative, because I think that's the kind of branding along those lines of having a seamless K through 20 system that's right here in this Mid-Coast area that I think will help you sell this region.
Good. Well, we're working on it. Thank you all. We're out of time. I know we could talk about this forever, and we pretty much do, but all time for today. I appreciate you being here, and we're going to have you back again soon. We're going to take another quick sponsor break, but stay tuned for some final thoughts.